Today we're in Arlington, Vermont, and we're visiting the Battenkill Valley Health Center. Amy Breese has joined the group, and we thought we'd stop in and see what she's going to be doing. The first question I'd like to ask you is this is going to sound weird, but why are you here? Why did they bring you in?
Well, here at Battenkill Valley Health Center, they wanted to have integrated care. They already had medical care and dental care, and bringing me on sort of completes the circle, adding in behavioral health.
What is behavioral health?
So it's anxiety, depression, if you have challenges with stress, parenting skills. I see anyone from age 5 up, so it's a whole wide range of challenges, people who are experiencing trauma, have a history of abuse. It's a wide range of challenges.
Does anybody really get better, or do we just get a better sense of how not to let it get to us?
Well, I mean, that's really individualized. You know, there are some people who are going to be better or cured, you know, depending upon what it is that they're coming in for. And then there's others who have chronic mental health conditions that are lifelong. And so they're learning coping skills and, you know, getting provided with resources and support to support those challenges. We can't take our magic wand and make everybody just, you know, completely better. But there are people that come in, and they may even come in and be, you know, get assistance and help and then be asymptomatic for a very long time until, say, a major life event like a divorce or a death or something. Then it rises back up, and then they come in and they get additional supports. And, you know, so it can be, you know, an ongoing lifelong thing. I mean, sometimes people come in for something like help sleeping. We do a few sessions on, okay, here's the skills to help you get back into a better sleep routine, and then, you know, everything's fine and they're better. Or, you know, how to manage some stress. It sort of depends on the level of what's going on, you know, whether it's going to be lifelong chronic or whether it's skills and then better.
I mean, is it triggered by their parents? Is it triggered by the outside world? Or do some people just seem to be born with something that needs to be dealt with at some point in their life?
Again, it's very individualized. It really is. And it's a combination of all of those things. Some people have a genetic predisposition, like if they have a lot of bipolar disorder that runs in their family. Some of it is also learned. So you may have the genetic makeup for anxiety, but if you're learning from your parents negative coping skills for managing anxiety, like drinking or drug use or, you know, something like that, then you're more likely to, you know, use those coping skills as well.
So things can get stacked. So the situation can get worse simply by what you're born into. What are you seeing in this state that people really need help with, and more people should be stepping forward to get help?
I think the biggest challenges in this area are anxiety, depression. We have a big drug and alcohol issue in this area. There's a lot of trauma that people are dealing with. You know, I would say those are probably the biggest issues that I'm seeing.
In children, say, under 12, what do you see?
A lot of anxiety, a lot of depression in the young children.
Was it always like that? Did we keep records that we could say, wow, we're really more anxious today as a society than in 1962?
I think it's different. I think the anxiety and the stresses are different now than they, you know, than they were back then. But I think it's also more recognized and accepted to get help instead of, you know, just turning to a bottle in your house all the time. You know, it's more accepted to come out and get help.
So let's just talk about a condition for a child and a condition for an adult. So I have a child. What's a normal condition for a child is depression?
Depression or anxiety would be the common challenges that children would come in with.
Does it happen overnight and the child is changed, or is it so subtle that you may miss it until you go, wow, what just happened?
It depends on the causes. So if it's caused by, say, a traumatic abuse, you know, like a traumatic event like abuse, then it's going to be bam. You know, the child will be fine, the event will happen, and then you'll start to see the symptoms show up. If it's something that, you know, say they were born with, or they, you know, grew up in a very stressful household and they didn't have, you know, appropriate bonding, or they didn't have their needs met in some kind of way, then it's, you know, it's going to be gradual and you're going to sort of see symptoms all along. It really depends on the cause of what's, you know, what's going on. So the tipping point for me that I tell people is when it really interferes with their daily functioning. If your child isn't sleeping, if they're not eating properly, if they're having trouble in school, if they're not making friends, if there's a lot of, you know, functional things that are happening that they're just not able to cope with their regular daily activities, then definitely. If you see something milder and you want to like get ahead of it, then give a call too. I mean,
Right.
you know, anyone can call and get help at any time. I mean, you don't have to wait until it gets to that point, of course, but
Right.
if you do see it get to that point, that's definitely when you want to call.
They could just call you and say, am I overreacting?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
And I can do a consultation with a parent without the child even being present, and we can discuss different concerns and, you know, see if we, you know, together think it would be a good idea to have the child come in.
Let's just jump up to teenagers. Depression and anxiety just going right up in age, or is there something at the teenage level that we start seeing going, that's a new thing?
Not really. It's just it presents differently. A lot of times once they get to the teen years, then they will be more apt to be involved in drugs or alcohol or, you know, illicit sexual behavior, or so it will present a little bit differently than it does in younger children. Anytime if you can catch something early, that's awesome. Give a call, get the child in, get some help, but that doesn't mean that you can't help someone at any age. I mean,
Right.
someone can come in when they're 85 and get help and coping skills that are going to help to improve their life. So I never say it's too late. You know, people can call at any age.
Thank you for spending time with us today. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.